All right, I'm going to continue with this guitar. And let me make sure that my screencast keys are on. I guess they weren't on for the last little while. Anyways, this is what we have so far. And I guess in the last video, I went ahead and I made this stuff here for the tuning keys, tuning pegs. And what I want to do right now is I want to actually move these structures down to the hardware that would be found below the head. So I'm going to cursor selected. I'm going to bring my 3D cursor there, and then I'm going to bring in a cube and scale it down. And I'm going to get under here in wireframe mode. I'm going to bring that in roughly to where that is, and I'll scale it in the Y. And I will rotate this in the Z to, pretty much line up with this. Let me switch over to normal and just sort of bring it over and see. That's fine. It doesn't have to be an amazingly accurate, but it would be nice if it was close. I think I'll scale it in the X just a little bit as well. And now let's have a look at where this is positioning. So this would be sort of underneath there, and this would connect to it. So I'm going to lengthen the cylinder here. Actually, I realize that I don't want to start with this one. I'm sorry, I want to start with this one, the one that's horizontal. It's a lot easier to do. So I'm just going to do that again. Sorry. Shift A, bring in a cube. Scale it down. Okay, so it's showing up over there. That's not a problem at all. And I'm going to bring it up here. I may have to pause because my new baby is right beside me here, and I hear her once in a while. And that's okay. She is doing just fine. Okay, so I wanted to do that. And let's go back to solid mode and bring this down. Just have a look at the size of that. So imagine if that was underneath. I'll bring this one down now. And this was attached to it. All right. I might want to make that a little bit smaller. Scale it in the Z. And I'll go ahead into this. And I think if I grab that face, yeah, for some reason it's detached. I'm going to delete that, and in edge mode, I'm going to create, I don't really need actually another face now that I think about it. I'm just going to extend this into that structure there. So let's just have a look at how that would be. That's roughly a decent distance there. That could still ostensibly turn. So that would be underneath there. And so what I'll do for this, just simply going to bevel it, Control B, pull back, give it a bit of a bevel, a bit of a shine. It's not really going to be overly visible. And I think that would be good enough. That structure would be there. So what I'll do is, hopefully I won't have any problems with this. I'm going to join the two of these together. Let's see if I do that. Yeah, everything looks okay. All right, I'm not going to put any more detail onto there. So what I'll do now is I will delete the rest of these. All right, and we'll just go ahead with the one that I got made. So I'll take this, Shift D, move it across, rotate Z 180, and position this something like that. Okay, and we'll take this one, Shift D, and move it up here, rotate in the Z, and I'll move over to the normal, and I can position this one. Okay, fine. Shift D, enter, move it up, rotate in the Z, and move it out. Okay, how are those looking? Looks fine to me. Take this one, Shift D. Oops. I don't think I've ever actually looked up there before. I didn't know you could do that. rotate in the Z. And now this one, I need to be a little careful about because this is so close to the end. So I'll sort of roughly position it. I want to have another look under here. It's actually all right. I think I can live with it there. All right, that's fine. And one more, Shift D. Bring it down and out. Rotate in the Z to about there. Let's double check that it's not going out. Oh, your little baby. Okay, that looks okay to me. That looks fine to me. All right, now that I've done that, there's one thing that I notice I should be doing, and that is removing doubles. So, for example, let's see if I can recreate the problem that I was having a minute ago. If I try to join this with the over here, and well, actually, I'm going to undo that. But I mean, if I take off, well, it's not always evident, but I've got a problem here with my some of my normals. All right, and so what I found out that I really need to do is to go in here and remove doubles from all of these. I should have done that initially, so I'm going to do that now with all of them. It's quick and painless, but it is worthwhile to do. And I may have smooth shading on some of these and not on others. Let's see, am I missing it? Yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay, so I'm just going to go in here quickly and remove doubles from all of these. And it's removing 706 vertices, so I definitely should be doing that. Remove doubles. I guess I have smooth shading on that one. And remove doubles. And I guess, okay, so let's see how that looks. Okay, so that looks fine. Control S to save that. And I think at this point, I'm going to try to just join these to the rest of the guitar. And yeah, we'll get some of that. And hopefully, let's see if I do all of this and I recalculate my normals outside. I can just hope that everything looks okay. Great. Now let me actually go in here and see if there's any problems here. Move double. No, there's nothing to remove. So let's see if I can go ahead and join these. I'll go back later on when I put my textures, which are very primitive, sort of just shaders, on, and I'll select stuff and we'll give some materials or colors to that. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. Now, what I'll do next, I think, is I will start adding the frets. So I'm going to go into Wireframe, and I've got this, in the diagram, the frets all set up here, so I'm going to do that. Where's my 3D cursor? It's over there, right? Let's see if I can just bring it, cursor to selected. It's right in the middle, so I'm going to bring in a cube and bring it up to where I'm going to want it and scale it like that. Scale it in the X out to about there. Scale it in the Y, pretty darn small. Okay. Scale it in Z as well, pretty darn small. And we'll just mess around with this and we'll see how she looks when we get it set up. Okay. So it's there now. Let's scale it in the Z a little bit more. Let's go into this, select it, make sure all my normals are facing outwards, and I'll keep bumping the microphone with my hat, sorry about that. Apply scale, and I may have to take a break in a second for the baby, we'll see. I'm going to grab this edge and this edge And I think I'll try Control B. I'm going to bring them down like that and give them a couple to round it out a little bit so that if I push this down, you know, it'll look something like that. But I'm gonna do a little bit more if I can to this, and let's try that. So in edge mode, I'm going to try to select all of that, and whoops, and all of that. Let's see if this is going to work. Control B. I just want a small bevel as well there. Just like that, and then I'll push that in, and that would represent my fret, and yeah, it's visible. So I'll put them in, and then we'll see exactly how high, or maybe I'll work on that now a little bit, something like that. Okay, so back in Wireframe, let's go ahead and copy these out. So select it, Shift D. Bring it down, Shift D, Shift D. Oh, it's going to be time to change and feed the baby, I think, in just a moment. That's why this is a multi-part video series. I don't have too much time these days. And pretty sleepy as well, but it's okay. Okay. Yeah, baby takes precedence. All right, I'm gonna have to save it there, and I'll be back. All right, we'll just keep going with this. Shift D. Move it up. Like that. Get all these frets in, and then we'll have a look and see how she looks. All right, I'm getting to the body of the guitar now. Okay. Last one. Just as the baby starts. Okay, let's have a look at that. There we go. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Now, I do like that, and I don't see any problem with that height. All right, so I think I'm going to go ahead, if I can grab all these and start, you know, join them to the neck. Okay, neck. Control J. Good, we got him. Okay, so let's save that. Now, what I thought I would do is I'm going to, I'll have to do the head nut as well very soon, but I want to do something with the neck and make sure it's a good height. So I'm going to, I'll show you. I'm going to bring in a cube. Do I want to use a cube? Yeah, I'll bring in a cube and make it quite small. I'm going to use this to sort of mimic a guitar string. And so I'm just going to position it back here. And let's zoom right in here. So imagine that a string, and I'll make it smaller than that. Something like that. Okay, it doesn't have to be the right size. Would come over this thing right here. So I'll put it right in that spot. And I'm going to scale it in the Y. It'll probably take a long time to do it this way, so I might just I might just go into it. Oops. No, that's not helping. Basically, we go to there. So I want to get the height of things. All right. Scale it in the Y. That kind of thing. And get it up the neck there. Scale it in the Y. And yeah, that's a good enough distance. Now, let's go have a real close look at this. I'll deselect it for a minute. Okay. The baby is gurgling beside me, so you see, obviously this is no good for the height there. What I want to do is actually raise the bridge to something like that. Okay. And then I may be lowering these things. That's what I'm getting at. Because let's say I want the action to be something like, you know, maybe something like that. Let's just check it all the way along. Okay, and then it would fit into through the head nut up here. And of course I'll bend the head back. Something like that. Let's see. Okay, through the head nut there. Oops, what did I do there? And so over here, I just did it again. I think I'm going to have to make some adjustments here, but we will save that for a couple minutes because I hear my baby again. So hang in there. All right, so what I think I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and make the head nut up here, and I'll get a sense of how high I want that to be, and then I'm going to adjust the bridge and stuff down there as well. So all right, let's have a look at this. I'm going to go ahead and bring in a cube, bring it up to this region here, scale it in the X, scale it in the Y. All right, we'll just get it up in that area and zoom in, scale it in the X again. It's going to go roughly in that position. Scale it in the Y a little bit more. And let's have a look at this thing. Wow. Scale it in the Z. Try that. Back in solid view, bring it up. Okay, I don't want it to go too far down into the neck of the guitar. Let's see how big that is. You know, something like that, right? Now, so the idea would be maybe a little bit bigger. The idea would be that there would be little grooves in this, and the strings would come through. And in order to figure out where those grooves would be, I think I really need to duplicate these strings and place them. They don't have to be the exact right height. So just for the moment, I'm going to bring this one up and over a bit. So that one would fit there, not necessarily at that height, but in that position. So I'm going to duplicate this, and once again, these are like sort of mock strings for me to just to get some dimensions and positions. Okay, so we'll just keep going and get the 6 guitar strings like that. Okay, so once those are done, those are obviously too high. So let's select all of the strings and get a feel for where we want them to be off of the neck. So they come down here. Let's try it this way. Maybe even a bit lower than that. Not too low, not too high. They would come down here and they would go through the The head nut, maybe they need to come down a bit more. And so that is what I would use to adjust this region here. So let me try bringing them down a tiny bit more. Let's see if we actually are clearing the frets. Yeah, okay, that's not bad. So if I come over to the head nut, let me make sure that that's a reasonable height. Tell you the truth, they could probably go up, go in the Z. Just, you know, maybe there. All right, so now that I have those in the position, not necessarily in the right height down here, I can use that to build my bridge. So again, I'm calling it the bridge, but it's the head nut. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to see if I can grab this edge and this edge and bevel that. Nope, I got to do a bit of work on that first, so that's all right. I'll come back out and I will apply scale, and let's try that again. That edge and that edge. Okay, that's better. I'm just going to put maybe 2 divisions, so we'll do that. And then I think I will select this face and cursor selected, and then come out, and I'm going to bring in a cylinder to make little cuts, booleans there. Okay, so cylinder, scale it down quite a bit, rotate X 90, and we'll look down at it from the top. Yeah, let's get back to global. Scale it in the Y so it's long enough, and actually I think I want it smaller in size. Alright, so let's just see. I'll push it down, we'll see what it's going to be like. I may bring the entire head nut down and say that was in there. That kind of thing. And I would cut away that region there. Now, of course, I don't know the exact size of what my strings are going to be later, but I think it's going to be okay. So that does go through, so I think I will just go ahead and duplicate this and place it. What happened there? Strange. All right, whatever. All right, something like that. Okay, so I will grab all of these and join them together. So we got that, and now let's try a boolean on this. Difference, choose my cylinders, hit apply, and move them up. Cool. All right, so that worked. I'm going to get rid of those now. And what happened here? Ah, weird. Okay, maybe I made 2 copies of that. All right. And now I might want to bevel this a bit more. So I'm going to see if I can grab this, Control B, and see if I can put a little bit of a bevel, or if it will mess up. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, okay. So no, we got problems. That doesn't look good at all. All right, in that case, let me try that again. Let's go in and see if there's any way at all I can select the outer edge, and if I can, great, and if I can't, that's all right. It's looking promising, so let's try a bevel. Now it will overlap a little bit, so if I just do the smallest bevel of all, will that, I don't think that causes any problems, and it might give me just a little bit of detail. Now, I'm actually okay with that, and this piece can be moved. I can make it smaller, so that's not bad for the moment in terms of what I'm thinking. And so, that being the case, let's have a look at the side view of the guitar. And let's now go down to the bridge and make those adjustments. So this is obviously far, let's grab that, far too high, okay, because I want these strings going through there. And so I guess what I'll do, this is all one piece, right? Well, maybe I can, well, yeah, I don't want it to, yeah, I'll try it this way. Let me see if I can grab all of this stuff and see what's linked. Yeah. Okay, so I got all that, right? Let's see if I can do scale in the Z. That's going not too badly. Okay. I think that for the moment, I'm going to make this a separate object, and I can work on all this stuff. And then what I'll do is I guess I'll come out. Okay. Let's see if I just bring that down to there. If I now grab those, I know these are attached, I just want to see how well this would work. If those were all brought to there, it looks good, right? The screws are all in there. Okay, okay. All right, so what's going on here then? So I'm going to come in and let's see if I can grab this whole thing. Good. I'll grab that whole thing as well. I'm going to make those separate. Come out here. And I now want to move this stuff down as I had done before. And those bolts, let's move them down. All right. It's looking pretty thin, but it's all right. It's just the way it is. The way it is. And now this thing, let's see how well the string. That's close. That's very close. Let's see what I can do with this. I kind of would like to. I think I'll select the whole thing and I'll just make this a little bit bigger. Scale in the Z, a little bit taller, so that the strings. You know what? No, I don't think I'll do it that way. I don't think I will. Let's have another look at this. Let's say if this was moved up, how high would it have to go? They don't have to be right in the middle of those spots. If that was moved up, and then what have I got here? I've got this thing and this thing. If I move them up so the bolts are at the right spot, and then what if I, is it attached to the guitar? No, it's not. So what if I hide the guitar? And if I come in here, well, you know what? While I'm here, I might as well delete that face. Yeah. And I'll delete that face. Maybe what I'll do is I'll join these, And I'll bring back the guitar. And actually, no, I'm going to hide the guitar. Whoops. Let's not do that. Let's just hide the guitar again, so just so I can select these. I'm going to come into both of them, and I'm going to select the bottom edge in both of them, and unhide the guitar. Oh, can I not do that while I got that selected? Oh boy. All right, I'm just going to bring these down anyhow. Let's see if that's enough to get into the guitar surface. And it is. The question is, do I like the looks of that? I feel like this is a little bit too high off of the bolts, and so what I might do is hide the guitar again, go into this part, and see if I can just select the bottom face. What happens to my bevel? I'm gonna have a problem. Just something like that. Okay, let's bring back the guitar. And how is that looking? Not too bad. All right, so that's what we got so far. All right, at this point, I'm going to start working on the strings, replacing these meshes and using curves. And I'm generally not that good at it. This is only my second time trying to do the strings, but I think I might be getting better at it. So what I'm going to do, I think, is it's going to delete that one for the time being. And in top view, I'm going to go Shift A, add a curve, add a path, rotate Z90, and move it over a bit. And I'm just going to get it lined up first. Lined up with this little groove here, like that. And then I'm going to move it down, and I want to get it aligned with the bridge and stuff over here. Okay, so it's going to stick into that back part there. And make sure that it's in this slot here. And what we'll do is I'll come over here to the curves, and I'll choose full, and under geometry I'll try 0.004. Is that crazy? Let's try that for now, so we can now see this. And now we'll come up, and hopefully I won't have too much trouble. I'm going to edit this and grab this vertex, and I'm just going to pull it up to here. Pull it back a bit, and then I'm going to extrude like that, and then I think I'm going to extrude again, and I'm going to bring this one over as if it joins, and then I'm just going to make sure that this kind of maybe I'll grab actually both of these and try to sort of straighten it out a little bit. And if I'm lucky, it's relatively straight down the neck. And hopefully it looks okay. Maybe that's a little bit thin. Not sure. So I'll try 0.006. That might be actually a little bit too thick, but we'll give that a try. And so now what I'll do is I'm going to delete the rest of these. These were just my placeholders. And I'm going to copy this, Shift D. I'm going to copy this one in. I'll just get it to fit down here. And let's try a size here. 0.004. I'll just go down like that. And top view. I'll go into edit mode. And I think I'll grab this and I'll pull it over to there. And we'll see if we can get both of these to work so that it goes like that. Back into object mode and just look at that string. That will be the A coming down. That's decent. That's fine. Okay, and so now I will take this, Shift D, bring it over here, 0.002. Okay, that looks pretty good. Go into edit mode and just pull this. Now I'm probably going to need to do a bit of work here to get this to wrap around. So let's see how that all goes. I'm looking at this brown here. And that might be just fine. Let's come out of edit mode and look at it in object mode. See if it comes through. Oops. And then curve. That's kind of a weird curve here. I may not be able to do much about that. Let me see. Yeah. I'm not sure why I had that. Oh yeah, I'm going to start editing in all kinds of different dimensions, and I don't want to be doing that. Let's see if I can. That's pretty good. See if that does anything for me. Okay, let's get out of there and just look at it. Okay, so it's not quite lined up. Yeah, so we'll go back in here and we will try this just from top view. See if I can swing it over a bit. And I think we may have it. And I'm just going to go with that as long as it's in down here. Yeah, this may not be the right sort of gauge for this. That kind of thing. All right, I'm going to take that one and duplicate it and bring it over. I'll try that and we'll see if that looks a little bit too small or not. Okay. Wouldn't it be nice if I could just swing that over? And then around. Okay, not too bad. All right, let's try this one. Okay, go X. Okay, good. This is the B string. And edit mode. I wonder if I can just delete that vertex. How much will I throw this off? And I do this, but I bring it forward a bit. Maybe all right. I'm not sure yet. Looks not too bad. Okay. Might be a little thin, but we'll work on all that in a bit. Okay, last one. A high E string coming in. Okay, top view, edit mode. Bring that down, we'll zoom in, and I'll just bring that back, and that one in. Okay, so it's not too bad. I think what I need to do is see about these. So what if I do 0.007? Does it seem far too thick? 0.006, 0.005. I don't know. Yeah, maybe that's too thick. 0.004. 3 and 2. Oh, just to try that. That's already set at 2. That kind of look okay. Yeah, kind of does. Okay, so I think we'll take a break here, and we'll see what we can do coming back to maybe put an emblem there or something up here, and we'll see if I want to put anything in the fingerboard itself. Okay.